Hi friends, Tracy.bish here, Stampin Up demonstrator in Australia. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be sharing with you my 3D projects or swaps for OnStage in Brisbane. This is just two of the colours. This has been so much fun to be able to create swaps to share with people. OnStage is actually a demonstrator only event for Stampin' Up demonstrators. It's a 3-day event and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go along. I'm using the Mixed Labels bundle as well as the Flowers of Beauty bundle as well. I have my, I don't have it written in front of me. Hang on, let me have a quick look. I do have a recipe already up, but because I've created them and popped them in already, I didn't have a spare. I've used the Unbounded Beauty suite as well, the Flowers of Beauty stamp set and all the bundle. We've also got the Unbounded Beauty 12x12 DSP, just as a little bit of extra background. I have the coordinating in colours in the bordered ribbon as well as the silver and gold ribbon combo pack, which I think it's 1/8 inch ribbon combo. Most of these items are in the annual catalogue as well as online exclusives, so that's that silver and gold 1/8 inch ribbon combo pack. Alright, for this one we're going to make a Summer Splash version, and I have my Summer Splash ink there as well. So we're going to start off with a piece of cardstock. This is Summer Splash. The measurements are 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now what's really great is you can make two of these little cute 3D treat holders from one sheet of A4, which is awesome. Okay, so we're going to make some score lines here. I'm going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches. So it's like a 2, 4, 6, 8 box or bag. We're just folding it a little bit differently to give us that great little feature on the sides of this bag. Then we're going to turn it to the 5 1/2 inch side, and I'm going to score it at 2 inches. So it's going to be a 2-inch base of our little bag here. So there we have it. And then we're going to do a little bit more scoring. I will need to bring my paper trimmer back in, but first off I'm going to bring in my bone folder and just burnish all those score lines. It's going to make it a little bit easier for me to be able to see. I have lights on and it makes it really hard to see the score lines sometimes, and I think I even come back in and add little pencil marks because it is so hard to see. So we're going to do a little bit of scoring. So I've got my little tab on the right hand side. It's just 1/8 of an inch. Actually no, it's 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to score on the second section and then also the fourth section, and we're going to score from the bottom of that score line up to the top left hand side, and then the bottom left up to the top right on those second and fourth little compartments across sections. And I'm just going to use my metal ruler and my stylus. Now the stylus is awesome for this project because you're running metal on metal and you're not going to wreck anything. See, I do struggle with my lights. I will admit my eyes are getting really bad. I do need to go and have a look at getting glasses. They are shocking, but the lights really don't help it. So I'm going to use the lights as an excuse at this time. It probably is my failing eyesight. I'm getting close to 50 and yeah, my eyes are not what they used to be, but I'm sure everyone is in the same boat as well. So we're just going to do those little score lines. So really on the second and the fourth section, all we're doing is we're putting a cross in that portion of that section. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, you're just using the corners of each of those, the second and the fourth piece. Okay, so we have that there. I'm going to bring my paper trimmer back in, and on the 3-inch side, again we have the little score, the little tab on the right hand side. If I put it at the 3-inch mark, I'm going to score from the top of the edge of the cardstock, and it's going to score all the way. You want to score it down to that center piece of the X, and that's going to help put this box together. And then you're going to move it over to the 7-inch side and do the same. So right down to that X, middle of the X, and then Yeah. Okay, so we have all our score lines. I'm also going to just fold my score lines in. So the top pieces where we've scored it in half, you're going to fold them in, and then the bottom pieces you're going to fold outwards. You'll see that. See how we folded the top bits in to create a little closure, and then the bottom pieces you're going to fold out, so we've got that little triangle down the below. And we're going to do that for the second and the fourth piece. And then we can do some stamping and cutting and popping this together. This project actually comes together really easily, and it's actually, you'll have people go, wow, how did you do this? So I think that's pretty fun. Now I did get the idea and some of the measurements from Julie DiMatteo, the Paper Pixie. I have changed it a little bit just to be able to use our A4 pieces, because if I did her measurements, we wouldn't, I'd only be able to get one made out of a A4 piece, so I have changed the measurements a little bit. But yeah, it's a great little treat holder. So there we have it. I'm going to just cut up those, the base of each of, well, it's the base of the box or the bag, and where that little tab is, we're going to actually take that completely off. And I feel a little bit rusty, guys. I have taken a little break for the last couple of months and haven't done a ton of videos. We've had a lot going on in the family, and I really needed to just sort of step back a little bit from doing so many videos. I was totally worn out and just needed to take a little bit of a break. I've still tried to keep up some videos, so you know, you guys don't get bored and leave, but I did need to sort of step back from doing quite so many, and I feel so much better that I have done that. So thank you for everyone who has been here for a while and you've stayed with me. I really do appreciate your support. It was one thing that I was so worried about, by sort of stepping back a little bit, that I would lose people, but you know, I suppose that's just the way it goes. If you lose people, you lose people, but those people that have enjoyed my videos have stayed with me, and I really so appreciate that as well. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping, because I thought, you know, we could have left this completely boring and not stamped the back, but I really wanted to add a little bit of extra layer because the DSP that I've used is a little bit plain, so I wanted to sort of have that sort of stand out, but also the bag to stand out as well. So I'm just using a piece of scrap paper here. I do really wanted to keep the front of the bag, which is the third section across in between the two crossed sections. I wanted to keep that completely clean, so I'm using just a piece of scrap paper to mask that off so I don't get anything on there at all. Even with that DSP, there is a little border showing of the cardstock, so I did not want even a little bit of ink to muddy up that matting area. So just moving the piece of cardstock around, it really doesn't matter if you get any stamped images on the base of the bag, but I do sort of move my paper around, so you know, I'm not really stamping too much down on the base of the bag either. And I love this little flower image. I think it's a really easy way to stamp around and have an ununiformed look, and it really does brighten the projects up as well. And I've just gone tone on tone, so this is Summer Splash cardstock, I'm using Summer Splash ink, and that's how it looks. Okay, to move on to the next piece, because I've got my ink pad out, let's grab that label. Now I've already die cut from basic white cardstock. I've also die cut the second label with the Summer Splash, just to make it a little bit easier for myself, and I had die cut everything as I was doing the, because I was doing so many of them, I did everything in batches. So we've just stamped the sentiment. Now the sentiment says, "For a great friend," which I think that's a really nice little gift to hand out to someone. So you could use liquid glue. I'm going to use my tear and tape because I find that just so much easier, and I love how sturdy that is. I'm going to be traveling up to Queensland with these, So I wanted to make sure that they were nice and sturdy. I'm also going to add some tear and tape to the inside piece. Now, looking at it, it'll be the third panel over, the one that we have not stamped at. And we're also going to add a little bit more to the one that's right next to it. So, hang on, do I do that one? Yeah. So when the tab's on the left hand side, on the inside of the bag, you're going to add your adhesive to the second and third piece across once you've taken that little tab off. Alright, so let's add also our DSP piece. Now quickly, I don't have the measurements, but I do have my ruler here. We're just going to add that down with some liquid glue. This measures 1 3/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch of DSP. So, and I've used coordinating colors. Now I have in my 3D swaps, we have Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop. So lots of fun colors. These to me just scream like ice cream or sweets colors. So I think, you know, they're a great little treat color to be using. And so these actually look so good in a like a box that I'm taking up to on stage. It'll be interesting to see what everyone's favorite is to grab. And then I've just added the tab down to place it together, and then you're going to take that second one across and then shutting it down with that one that was under where we've added the DSP. I am so rusty at talking and doing videos, guys. Please bear with me. I'll get back in the swing of it, I'm sure. Now, tear and tape has one of the, you know, strong adhesives, great for your 3D projects. So if you don't use tear and tape, I highly recommend grabbing some, because if you love your 3D projects or your fun fold cards, it makes light work. Your project's not going to go anywhere. It's got a super strong hold, and I like that because I do sell my projects and my cards, and I know that nothing is going to fall apart using that. So once I have my little bag together, I've just used my hole punch to punch a hole in there. Now I've got little sweets inside. I'm going to use this is Summer Splash bordered ribbon. I'm just going to create a little piece here, and to pop it through the hole I use my stylus, but depending on how big your ribbon is, this is actually a fairly big ribbon. If you use smaller ribbon, it probably would go through that hole a little bit easier, or maybe I could have, you know, got a bigger hole punch, but that's the only one I have, and I've had that for many years. I would say over 20. So that's it. It's been a very trusty hole punch. I'm also using the gold. Actually, I think I used the gold and the silver ribbon just to tie a knot in the top of that, in the ribbon. Now, this just adds a little bit of extra sparkle, and it was sort of easier to not use so much of my bordered ribbon that way as well. But I just love the double ribbon. It actually creates a nice little sparkle there. And then once we have this done, we're just going to adhere our two labels together. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of my labels and pop that down. We have one of the little flowers. I'm going to adhere that down with a glue dot and then place a dimensional on the top of that. And I think this is such a sweet little gift idea. Now, if you're after any of the supplies that I've used on today's project, you can certainly purchase them in my online store if you live in Australia. And I would love if you did, because I have some great specials for all my customers who purchase with me each month, or whenever you purchase with me. I do like to spoil my customers. And yeah, if I've swapped with you at OnStage, maybe you've come to Brisbane OnStage, hopefully I've been able to get to meet you and say hello. And I hope that you've enjoyed the swap. So if you're watching this and you received one of my swaps, let me know in the comments section. And yeah, Don't forget to like this video, leave me a comment, hit subscribe. I would so appreciate that as well. I know that around this time of OnStage, a lot of people, a lot of demonstrators, a lot of customers, a lot of people are searching YouTube videos for swaps. So if you've come from another country, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here, and I really do hope that you'll press that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. This is the second video for my OnStage swap. So I'm doing four swaps, 2 general swaps and then 2 organized swaps, which is super fun. I said in my last video, this is the first time Stampin' Up in Australia has ever done an organized swap at OnStage. So I'm super excited for that, and I can't wait to meet everyone and share some different ideas with them. Yeah, so there we have it, my little 3D swap for the general swap. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me today, and I'll be back with another swap video really soon. Alright everyone, enjoy your day. Bye bye.